What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Like always, I'm going to show you, if we can get it to focus, come on. 4:59 a.m. and we have destroyed a push workout. We're about to head back home and do some deep work and just continue to dream chase and work towards our goal and our purpose. First thing I want to say before we dive into today's topic is, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Eric, obviously, by the YouTube username, but I basically just talk about self-improvement as a guy who used to be completely lost. And I was as lost as this Instagram message I'm about to read from a guy that I actually got this message from yesterday. And I was able to basically do a complete 180 and change my life. And I'm not some like guru that's trying to, feed you a bunch of BS or, talk about my flashy life. Like, I went from somebody who was in a really dark place into living my dream life, and I basically just share exactly what I did. And like I said, it's not some guru style, like, you guys get what I'm trying to say. There's so many of those like fluffy videos out there, but for me, I just try to speak from the perspective of what my younger self would like to hear. So I want to touch on this message that I got from this guy because it was really deep, but I really think a lot of you out there are going to resonate with this. And there's no judgment at all. Like, this dude was vulnerable and he shared, how he's feeling. Obviously not going to read his name and stuff out of self-respect, but, or out of respect for him. But he said, "Bro, I'm lost. I can't stop being a loser. I'm gambling my money away. I'm eating junk food, not working out, wanting to end my life. I've tried and tried and tried to change, but I fail at every start. I seem to be a self-sabotage expert, and I don't know how much longer I can do it. I watch your videos and other videos like it. Does it ever get to a point where you do break the habits and change, or do some just keep going down the rabbit hole?" So to answer that last question, and I'm going to try to touch on almost all of these points, it does change. And the reason I make these videos is because, once again, I'm speaking to my younger self. Like, if I could have came across these videos when I was younger, it would have sped up my results. And two, I feel like it's what, like, as a Christian, it's like the light that I can share with the world. It's like my the trials and the things I've been through have, like, me accomplishing them now, I've got to a spot to where I can provide value. And that's almost like, I'm getting long-winded with this and I'm trying to figure out how to articulate it, but basically I feel this is what God wants me to share. It is something that I've overcame, and now I can kind of simplify it for you guys. Obviously everyone's life is so much different. Some of these things, like what I'm talking about, you're not going to be able to just follow step by step by step. Like, there's going to be some detours, there's going to be some curves and stuff, and you have to align it, with your life. You have to kind of, take it, connect the dots, but it's not going to be plug and play. So he said, does it ever get to a point where you break the habits and change? Once again, I'm proof of this, guys. Like, this is me being like super vulnerable and whatnot, but I used to live in an older duplex, and I was so ashamed of where I lived that I was like embarrassed to make content. Like, I wanted to be a content creator for so long, but I would watch all these other people that were like millionaires and kind of the guru guys, and I would see their houses and I would see the cars and I'd see all this stuff that they were driving. And I'm like, man, who am I to make content? Like, no one's gonna watch it. Like, look where I live. Like, I was in a really dark spot. And once again, like, doing a complete 180 from that, it's like I was renting an old duplex, super embarrassed about it, was like really insecure about it. And fast forward just a couple years, and I've purchased my dream house. I'm living in the dream state I wanted to live in. I'm sitting in my dream car right now. So it is possible. But this guy, he says he's lost. He can't stop being a loser. He's gambling his money away. He's eating junk food. He's not working out. He's wanting to end his life. What I messaged back to him is, I said, the pain of staying the same has become greater than the pain of change. And you guys who watch my videos, you'll think that I probably sound like a broken record, but the repetition is needed. Like, for me, the people that I watch on YouTube, the kind of like virtual mentors that I have, like, I want to hear them say the same things, because it might take 10 times for you to hear it before it actually registers. And so what I think I'm going to title this video is like, nothing changes if nothing changes. And I took some notes here just so I'm kind of like have a flow and can give you guys like step-by-step solutions. But basically I said, Nothing changes if nothing changes, meaning if you keep doing the same actions, you'll get the same results. Isn't that amazing though? Because if you change, you will change. And one of the very first videos I ever watched from Jordan Peterson, he said like becoming better is better than being who you are, because right now who you are might be fat, it might be depressed, it might be unmotivated, like low confidence, self-sabotaging. So like by becoming better every single day, by striving to do the whole incremental progress and 1% better, that is better than being who you are. So I live my life by incremental progress and self-improvement. Like every single day in some way, I'm trying to make my day better. And by doing that, the results you will yield in your life, they'll eventually compound. Like you'll start out and it'll be super small. Like going back to this guy's message, he's like, bro, I'm lost. I can't stop being a loser. Well, for one, you have to stop those limiting beliefs and you have to stop thinking you're a loser. You have to start projecting out like this version and this vision of this person that you want to become. He said, I can't stop gambling my money away. I'm eating junk food. I'm not working out. So instead of trying to do this like mega leap to all of a sudden you're jacked and you're a millionaire and all these things, it's like, once again, taken from what I've learned from Jordan Peterson, what could you do today to become better? Like he talks about cleaning up your room, but it's like, if you're eating junk food, could you just get the junk food out of your house? Could you just start by eating like one less snack? And then the next day, like one less snack. And then once they're all out of your house, then you just don't buy them. So you guys are trying to change your life overnight, but you have to understand that this stuff takes years. And for you that gets unmotivated by hearing that, because I used to try to find all these hacks, I was trying to get like rich quick and trying to like start these businesses and, you know, make it happen overnight. I can promise you guys, all you're going to do is this. You're just going to keep going in the hamster wheel. You're going to spin your wheels. You're not going to make any progress. It's not until you craft your vision, figure out where it is that you want to go, and then start chipping away at it every single day and understand that like everyone who makes it, like 99%, there's always exceptions, it takes time. Like to become a doctor, you can't just like go to school for a couple weeks and you're a doctor. It takes years. To build a super successful business, like look at Amazon, it took 15 years. Like whatever you're trying to accomplish, you have to zoom out and you have to understand that it's about chipping away every single day and it's going to take time. So like, dude, you're at the rock bottom right now, but the benefit of rock bottom is you only can go up. So what advice I would give to you, and I'm not a therapist and I'm not a medical professional, so like if you are having thoughts of like you said in here, wanting in your life, like you need help, man, you need to see somebody, and don't be ashamed about it. But the advice that like I would give you, or give to my younger self, not you, because I don't want this to come off, like I said, as like therapy or medical advice. This is what I would tell my younger self is like, do you have a vision? So if you're gambling your money away right now, you probably don't have a vision. If you're eating junk food right now, you don't have a vision. If you're not leveling yourself up, you don't have a vision, because once you have a vision of who you want to be, you now know what actions don't align with that. So when I was in this super dark place and depressed and wasting my time on video games and just like my days were all a blur, I like vaguely had this thought of what I wanted, but I never made it concrete. And that's why if you go back through my videos and you see that I talk so much about goal setting now, it's about keeping your vision top of mind. Like it gives me chills right now, guys. Like this might be cheesy or corny or whatever to you, but like I'm literally sitting in my dream car right now. It is a Jaguar F-Type R. It has got 650 horsepower. You know, I've talked to you guys before about like being frugal with your money and, you know, getting your freedom. That's the most important thing. And like I've accomplished that. Still have the old Tundra, by the way. But this happened a lot sooner. And it's so crazy because literally 2 to 3 years ago, I was waking up, staring at the floor in the worst depression, going to a job where I mowed grass all day. I was working with people that were aiming down, that were on drugs, that were alcoholics. And like I had this vision of who I wanted to become. And it wasn't until I looked myself in the mirror and said, no one's coming to save me. Like I started to pray, I listened, I watched for opportunities. But even though I was praying to God and Jesus, I knew no one was coming to save me. Like faith without works is dead. So you can pray all you want. God will open those doors for you, but you have to walk through them. So I want to touch on like where, like if you guys are like newer to my content, I was making like $12 or $13 an hour mowing grass. Like I worked for a landscape company, but instead of continuing to sulk and like be like, oh, poor me, what I did is I was like, I'm going to be better every day. I'm going to show up to work earlier than everybody. I'm going to dress nicer than ever. Even though I was landscaping, I'm like, I'm going to take pride in how I look. I'm going to like speak with manners. Like I was raised to use my manners, like being from the South, like yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. And through doing that and showing up to work on time and like making sure my work truck was clean, making sure I was like, you know, respectful to the customers and all these things, like a year goes by and then like I've got pay raises. Then they like bumped me up to a foreman. So like when I started out, I was on a weed eater, and then, you know, I kept working, and then the guys who were aiming down, they eventually quit, and then they replaced new people. And then my spot finally came up, and they're like, Eric, you're perfect for this. Like you've learned. So I became a foreman, and then I started like leading crews. And then once I did that for a year or two, the next step is they saw a position for me to become a manager. So I went from making like $15, $16 an hour to like 50, 55,000 a year. I did that for a little bit, and then I started managing like 30, 35 guys and got promoted in that management role. And then I eventually got into a sales role where before I quit, I was making $100,000 from commissions plus my salary. And that was in the span of 2 to 3 years. That wasn't a college education. Like I didn't have any like good grades in high school. It's just from having the growth mindset and not just sulking, understanding that if you are at rock bottom, you can make it through it. So like I told you guys, man, for the ones that are still here, this is a really passionate one for me, because when a guy messaged me like this and says that he's lost and he can't stop being a loser, it's like, dude, craft your vision. Like life is like a video game. Like a lot of you guys that played like FPSs, like I played Escape from Tarkov, DayZ, all these different games. Like it's all about like leveling up your character. Like life is a character. So if you don't have stats, if you don't have just anything, any value to yourself, it's like you can build that, but it's not going to start until you look in the mirror and say that no one's coming to save you. And then instead of just living in that like sadness, it's like realize like I've done it. Like I hope this inspires you guys. It's like I'm not feeding you some bullshit. I didn't come from a super wealthy family. I came from lower class. Like another thing I don't think I talked about is I grew up in a trailer out in the country. Like yeah, like my first car, like I think my budget was like $1,000, and you know I got a job at 15, and I've just worked and I've tried a lot of things and I failed at a lot of things, and now I feel that this is what I'm put on the earth to do, is help you guys level up. So I hope this inspires you, man. I hope this helped you. But I would tell you honestly, like if you're in that low of a spot, seek help, but understand that you can climb out of it. You just have to quit digging. You have to quit digging the hole. You have to stop the habits that don't align with who you want to become. But the first step is actually figuring out who you want to become. Start with Jordan Peterson's self-authoring program. I wish I had, well, I could probably post a link to it, but it's like $10 or $20. It is what allowed me to understand running from the pain, running towards the vision. So you have the vision for your life and that kind of motivation, but sometimes maybe a cool car doesn't motivate you, or maybe making more money doesn't motivate you, or whatever, or you know, building muscles doesn't motivate you. It motivated me, but what also motivated me was what Jordan Peterson calls the cat, which is the like devil kind of running to you. What is that negative life that if you stop, like you said, you're lost, you're gambling. It's like if you don't quit those habits, think about yourself in 10 years. How scary is that if you're in even a worse space, you look worse, you're fatter, maybe you can't get a relationship. Like you have to think on these things, man. But that's all for this video. Once again, super passionate one, but I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Peace. Also, I want to let y'all to hear the Jaguar real quick. Peace.